Have you ever heard of the French death metal band Gorod? They are cool. They're very cool guys. We saw them at a tiny little club
Same
in
place we saw
Scottsdale.
Adrenaline Mob.
Same place we saw Adrenaline Mob. And we had the lead singer on our podcast prior to the show.
Like at the venue, which is really cool.
And then the first band went on, and then the lead singer for Gorod came out to the audience to where we were, and he said, "We lost our accommodations for the night. Is there any place that you know of where we could stay?" We're like, "Yeah, come home with us." And next morning cooked them breakfast, and we just had so much fun with them. So yeah, that was the day we brought home a death metal band from France.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today, actually welcome some special guests. We got Justin and we got Andrea from their own little music podcast called Drum Me Up Conversation. How you doing today, y'all?
Doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. And to fill in the audience, I got a bad cold the other week there too. So,
is my microphone coming through okay?
Yeah,
it comes through.
Because I'm not hearing myself very well.
Oh, I can turn you up.
Okay. There we go.
Actually, I'm hearing a little bit of like rubbing going on in the background there too. So I was wondering, are we doing a little turntable action or something?
Our dog's down here. She's playing with her toys, so that might be it too. And there's someone getting something done across the street from us, so that might be bleeding through. It's very loud. So.
All right, we'll make do with it.
Yeah.
But I guess what y'all been up to recently? Because I guess you guys been doing some new interviews with some people.
Just recently we had Susan Gallagher, mostly known as Homeless Lynn in Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So we had her on. That was our most recent episode. And right now we're just always reaching out to get guests. So and then working full time, and I have a full time band and all that. So yeah, we don't have time to think most of the time. So it's fun.
Keeps you out of trouble. That's what they'll say.
It does. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So.
That's good. So
yeah.
I guess I know I'm jumping into it, but I guess go ahead and jump into the music podcast here a little bit here too. So when I was checking it out, and just to fill in the odds with a couple special guests you guys had was like Bill Hines and Susan Gallagher, like you mentioned, and John Rotolo. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I guess are you guys looking are these people like musicians, like as a hobbyist, or is it kind of like just people like in different sports or activities?
We have wineries on. We support the local community out here a lot. So we've had like a soap maker on. We've had a couple of coffee people on. We had some wineries. We're working on a couple distilleries right now. We've had actors, musicians. Drumming's my big thing, so we've had a lot of drummers on.
But we focus on the conversation part, so we encompass all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Bill Hines is a race car driver. Susan Gallagher's an actress. John Rotolo is a comedian and a podcaster and an actor.
Yeah, and then he works with Chad Gracie, who's the drummer for Live. He has his podcast with him, with John Rotolo, and so we've been on theirs a couple times, and that's been a lot of fun. It's been fun meeting the people we've met doing this, and especially that like John Rotolo is in New Jersey and we're in Arizona. And we've never met face to face other than through like Zoom or whatever. And it's just fun to have connections and people we text all the time and we talk to and all that. And never actually met in a room like physically. So it's pretty cool.
So you guys do take the proactive approach, be like, hey, here's our music podcast. Would you like to come on and see if it's 50-50?
Yeah, I mean, we don't even, like she said, we don't really treat it as much of a music podcast more than the conversation.
If they are not musicians, our closing question is always, who's your favorite drummer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been since like day one. Other than like she said, other than if they're not a drummer, and it's just because I play drums and like we had come up with the concept for the podcast, and I'm like, just give me a couple days, I'll come up with the name, and then of course like everything happens is like at midnight, I'm about to fall asleep, and then boom, drumming up conversation, and I'm like. I woke her up and I still feel bad about it because she couldn't get back to sleep. And I'm like, I got the name. Like give me something to write this on real quick because I'm going to forget it by the morning. And then we just ran with it. So
I want to say it was like that Gronk sort of moment right there too. Like he's falling asleep and all of a sudden he gets an epiphany in his sleep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there is. I think the reason I'm saying music podcast is because of the drumming part. So I'm
Oh, for
assuming
sure.
that's what you're looking for. So
And that's how it started, was very heavily based in music. Our first many episodes was very music based. We were breaking down albums and talking more music. And then once we started getting people outside of the music community on, we're like, okay, let's focus on it being a conversation rather than, the music part of it. So that's a big part of it. Like she said, our last question always is, who's your favorite drummer, with the guests we have on, just to keep that, part of the name as well. But we just love learning. That's our big thing. I'm a big history buff. I like learning that stuff, but I also like learning how people make things out of passion. Like wineries are nuts. Like they don't make any profit for 5 years, which is just crazy to think about. Like they do not sell a bottle of wine until 5 years after they've started.
because I guess the whole distillery process.
Yep. Yeah, it takes like 2 years to grow the grapes, takes another 2 years to ferment them and get them in the barrels, and then it takes another year or so to get them actually in the bottles. So there's your 5 years right there before they've even stocked anything on their shelves. That I'm like, that's a labor of love right there. So
that's for sure.
Yeah.
So which part of Arizona are you guys hailing from?
We're in the Queen Creek area, so about an hour southeast of Phoenix.
Actually, I remember we went on a Canyonlands trip. It was one of those tour trips. It's actually a tour company called Talk. And actually, a funny story. We had missed our connecting flight when we were going from Pittsburgh to Detroit. Pittsburgh is where I hail from.
Okay.
So we got stuck in Detroit for about 9 hours. Then we had to fly a late night flight all the way into Phoenix and stayed at a Four Seasons hotel in Flagstaff.
Oh man, that's a drive from Phoenix.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It wasn't too bad. Actually, first off, you didn't have much traffic, so you could at least enjoy the scenery and all that stuff there too.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, we actually have a house in Flagstaff, so it's our where we go where it gets a little too hot here. We'll go up there for a little bit and cool off. So.
Yeah, it just snowed there quite a bit yesterday. Meanwhile, it's like 80 degrees here, and it's snowing just 3 hours up north.
It's like, oh dear, a paradox or something.
Yeah.
So I guess I was gonna say, have you lived in Phoenix your whole life? Or
I was born and raised. I was born and raised in the Chandler Mesa area out here. That's where I was born and raised. And
I was born in California, and I didn't move out here until 2014, and never looked back.
No regrets.
So. Yeah. I lived on the coastline in San Luis Obispo, but it was so touristy. There's a university there, so combined with the university and the tourists, like getting on the beach was impossible all the time, and it was so expensive. It's just been so nice. And Arizona is so beautiful. We have the most beautiful sunrises, the most beautiful sunsets. We could drive 30 minutes to the east and be up in Globe, and it literally looks like the set of the Flintstones up there. It's just so amazing. And then Flagstaff, you get up in all the trees and the high elevation parts of Flagstaff are like 8,000 feet.
8 to 9,000,
9,000 feet, and it's just completely different there.
Yeah, it was definitely a beautiful country. I imagine your summers are like, good God, it's like a sauna in here. So
it's 115, 121 usually.
Only.
Yeah. I like it. I like the heat.
I mean, I have to, but the winters make up for it for sure. And the fact that we can travel a lot of places, we get a lot of people from everywhere else here in the winter. So in the summer is kind of our free time where we can go do stuff, and we'll go to like Tombstone or down south, and we'll go visit like up north where there's some great wineries in both south and north. And like we have a house, like I said, in Flagstaff, so we're like an hour away from everything up there. And that's just Sedona.
Sedona's beautiful.
Sedona's gorgeous. Yeah, Sedona is a place where I will go and just walk around and just enjoy it.
And we have Cottonwood, which is home to Maynard James Keenan, and he has a fantastic restaurant and winery up there.
Yeah,
and he's the unofficial mayor of Cottonwood.
I was going to ask about that. I was going to ask where that was at, because I think I remember seeing like a little video. I forget if it was MSNBC or something, but they did talk about it briefly, and I was like curious how that whole winery thing works. To be honest, because it's all perched on cliffs and everything.
Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's literally farm to table. They have a greenhouse where they grow all their vegetables. They have ducks, and they use the duck eggs for their pasta, and then they just have amazing wine. And the view is just gorgeous.
Yeah, you can see like Sedona and Camp Verde and all kinds of places just from the top of it. It's gorgeous. So
I did it right.
Yeah, we encourage everyone that comes out here, if you're going to do anything, go to Cottonwood and just go check that out. It's a cool spot, and it's pretty much just one street that has everything on it. But there's food, there's wine, there's places to go check out, a bunch of shopping and all that, and it's gorgeous. So yeah, we love it. That's the place to probably visit the most. So
I was in Sedona, but I didn't know about that for Benny James Keenard. That probably would have been nice. So
yeah.
Something to take note of.
Yeah, we haven't ran into him yet, but we've come close to. We have a couple connections that we're going to try and get him on and just talk wine, because he doesn't like to talk music as much, and that's kind of a way to turn him off. But if you start talking about wine with him, he'll talk your ear off from what we've heard. So,
well, it's something to take note of if I ever do get him on at some point. So
yeah, there you go.
All right. So I guess how'd you two lovebirds meet? Because it is Valentine's Day. So
yeah, that is.
It is. That's right. Obviously, we don't celebrate it too much, so we forgot. We had a Friday the 13th thing last night that we did. That was a lot more fun. I think to celebrate.
Yeah, we have a big horror themed store out here called Terror Trader. Our good friend Jason owns it, and it's like a co-op. So he rents out space to all these crafters that make all these horror themed items. And last night and today, he has one of the Jasons.
And actually, Jason and Freddy. He played Jason and Freddy in the Freddy versus Jason movie.
And he was also the Sasquatch in the Jack Link's commercials.
So it's definitely a small word for you guys.
Yeah. So anyway, back to your original question, though. We met actually in California. My grandma wasn't doing so well health-wise, so I went out there to take care of her for a couple of years.
Which he abandoned his band, which ended up going on tour with Quiet Riot. He did that to go take care of his grandmother.
Yeah, I try not to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that just kind of went south, and we ended up meeting from a mutual friend out there, and we've been together ever since. And that was 2011, right?
2011.
Yeah. So
yeah. And then in 2014, we decided to move. Well, he moved back. That was the first time I've actually been out of California, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah, and then did you want to tell them about our wedding reception?
Oh,
you'll love this.
Not only our wedding reception, but our wedding. So
yeah,
we got married in 2019. And Arizona has a big bike week. It's similar to Sturgis Bike Week. So when we got married at Arizona Bike Week, Godsmack played that night. So we always tell everybody that Godsmack played our wedding reception. And it was, so they have strippers and everything out at Bike Week. So he got his bachelor party, his wedding, and the reception all in one shot.
It's all in one shot. Yeah. It's one-stop shopping.
And then 5 years later, on our 5-year anniversary, Godsmack played the Bike Week again. So they actually played our wedding and our anniversary.
I would say, Justin, what'd you do? So.
And it was funny because when we got married, our local rock station out here, KUPD, they had just set up their tent, and I ran over to one of the DJs and I said, "Hey, can we use your tent for like 5 minutes to get married?" And he's like, "Okay." So the whole time we were doing our little ceremony, people kept coming up to us and asking us, "What kind of merchandise are you giving away?" Like, we're just trying to get married real quick.
We could do it in a church, that whole deal. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way we wanted to do it. I didn't, neither of us wanted to have a big wedding and all that. And that was just fun. I mean, we spent like 12 hours there just having a blast, just checking it. There's so much to do with that. Mm-hmm. And 5 years later, my parents went with us, and my mom ended up buying this like really cool, was it a ring?
Yeah, there's a like a rock themed, like a metal themed jewelry store out here that's really big, and they do jewelry for a lot of stars,
like Alice Cooper and all those guys. So
Yeah, and she ended up getting a ring there.
She ended up having a blast because, like, at first she was like, I don't know if I want to do this, and then she's like, oh my god, this is fun. I'm like, yeah, we do this like every year. You should come. She's like, I will. So that was cool. Just getting the parents involved. Like, it's not that scary.
Yeah,
bikers are cool. Bikers are like metalheads and rock stars. Like, we're just nice people. We just, you have to have fun. So.
I'd hope it's a little bit more controlled than what you get in Sturgis. So
we have not been to that, but
it is a little more controlled.
Yeah, I mean, there's still things here and there, but it's nothing. Like, and there's, I think on the Saturday, I think they usually average about 100,000 people out there. So yeah, so
I actually remember it was a little TV show. It was called Bam's Unholy Union. I don't know how much you were to like Feel of the Bam or Jackass, that sort of stuff.
Jackass for sure. Yeah,
but Bam Margera, he was getting married to the girl at the time named Missy. They got divorced a little bit later, but instead of just doing like a traditional church ceremony, that whole sort of stuff, it's more. I don't. It's not. It's more like an unofficiated sort of one. So he still technically had a guy that filled in as a priest, and then he probably like all these people that he knew, like CKY or Camp Kill Yourself, as they would say. So I was thinking, could he have done something similar? Had that whole filmed and everything there too. So
Right.
just a Lawrence Unholy Union or something like that.
And then we have friends out here that have a pretzel company, and the wife, she was a photographer for a lot of rock bands. And when they got married, they did a whole November rain themed wedding, which was pretty cool.
I was say, did they get married in November? Is that what?
I don't remember if it was in November.
That I don't know.
But it was all November rain themed.
Forgot to ask. We're gonna have him on again soon.
Yeah.
We'll ask him. So
To be continued.
To be continued for sure. Yeah.
But I guess this year is going to be 6 years or 7 years you guys been married?
7. Yeah.
7.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. A couple months. Almost.
Right.
Yeah. Almost 2 months away. Because it was April 6th. So yeah.
I guess good thing it wasn't April 1st.
Right.
I said that originally, and
the whole time we were driving out to Bike Week, because we were on a break at work where he was working and I was working. We take our breaks and call each other, and I have a really bad reception because I work out in the middle of nowhere. And on that particular break, he's like, "Hey, I think we should get married at Bike Week," and then it went and cut out, and I couldn't connect back with him, and I was like, oh shit, I think we're going to get married finally. Because we were together for a long time before we got married, and he said he would never get married.
Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah. And I finally had resigned to that. Okay, we'll be together, but we just won't ever get married. And then we went and got the marriage license, and I'm like, okay. And then the whole time we were driving to Bike Week that morning, I'm like, he's going to back out of it. This is all a setup. He's going to, at the last minute, he's going to say, you know what? Never mind. I changed my mind.
April Fools.
I was a ball of nerves that day. I mean, I was shaking so bad, and he was just calm as can be. And he's like, "Why are you so shaking?" I'm like, "I know you're going to back out of this."
No, I'm not. I don't half commit to anything. So we're doing this. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we were together a long time, and yeah, I love her. So, I mean, we do this podcast all the time, and it's just fun. And I don't think I'd want anyone else doing this with me. So
that's good to hear. So
yeah.
Congratulations again, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. But I guess get back into the podcast. I guess what really was the motivation behind it? Did it kind of happen during COVID?
Kind of, and not really. She has a better remembrance of it than I do because of where I was at that time.
It started out of depression. Justin's always suffered from, and I hate using the word suffered, but he's always had depression. And we had just lost our dog, which our dogs are family members. And this particular dog, we'd gotten together. We saw him being born. Because I've always worked at animal shelters, and I currently work in an animal shelter, but I was at the animal shelter in California. So when the mother dog went into labor, I called him. We watched him being born, picked him out right away, and watched him progress as, the 8 weeks that he had to stay in the shelter. And he was almost like a service dog because he saved Justin's life twice when he had pneumonia and he couldn't breathe, and he sent the dog to me to get me to tell me that he couldn't breathe, and he did it. And and he was just the love of our life, and when he died it just totally crushed Justin, and he went to a huge dark depression. We had double blackout curtains up on our windows. We had blinds, so the house looked like a tomb. On Fridays, we would pull into the garage. The garage would shut. We wouldn't see the light of day until Monday morning. He never wanted to do anything. He never wanted to go anywhere. And I'm like, we're living in a tomb and you can't get out of this funk. We need some sunlight. We need to get out and do something. And I finally had talked him into seeing a counselor, which started to improve things. And then one day he texted me. He's like, what do you think about starting a podcast? I'm like, I think we could do it. And so that really, really, really helped because he was forced to talk to people and go out and do things.
I'm sorry to hear that. And do you guys always go for a specific breed when you're getting dogs? I guess what kind of breed is your current dog?
So he was a pit bull. Right now we have, she'll probably pop up at some point after like half an hour, 45 minutes into these things. She'll just pop up right here. Yeah. So you'll probably see her. We think she's a
pit bull mastiff
mix.
She's a big girl.
Yeah, very big girl. I've had dachshunds before.
Dachshunds and pit bulls go really well together.
Yeah. But yeah, we used to have 3 dogs and now we're just down to 1. Mm-hmm. After we lost, but we want to get her a friend at some point, but we just want to kind of make sure
enjoying our time just with her right now.
Yeah, because it took us a while to get another dog because that one was just, it still hurts a lot. And yeah, I have his tattoo on me right there. So but yeah, it was tough. It was really tough. And I just started listening. And then what didn't help either was the year before is when Neil Peart died, and he's my biggest inspiration, the drummer from Rush. And so that kind of started it. And it's one of those instances where it's like, I've never met the guy. I just know him from the lyrics he wrote and the drums, what he played and everything. I never met the guy, and it just devastated. And I started seeking out other podcasts, and I ran into one that was actually, they did a whole episode about it, and it's a Rush podcast. And we ended up becoming friends with one of the guys from that. He was our first guest. Cause I told him like, hey, you were the one that kind of got me out of this depression I was in. Everything else. And so but yeah, it's been great. Like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, last night would have never happened. We would have never gone anywhere last night, and we were just talking with people, hanging out, having fun, and just enjoying it. And I mean, I think we're out of the house more than we're in it now,
for sure.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
And I guess real quick, Justin, in terms of drumming, I guess what made you want to be a drummer? Did you jump around with various instruments in the past?
No, I can screw around on a bass every once in a while, but no, drums have been my life since I was 6 years old. So my dad played. There's even pictures of me at like maybe 3 or 4 years old sitting on his lap behind his drums, and I think that's what got me into it. But yeah, ever since I was like 6 years old, I wanted to play drums, and I've been doing it ever since.
Tell the story of how you ended up playing.
What do you mean?
At your grandma's church.
Oh yeah, so the grandma I took care of in California many years ago, she was a pastor of a church, and they needed someone to play drums in the actual like adult congregation. And she said, I think my grandson can do it, and I think 8 or 9 years old. Like, all right, I'll try it. I can't sit down and hit the pedal, so I had to stand while I played. So I Slim Jim Phantomed the drums, and I got through it and played it, and I learned like the 3 or 4 songs they were playing within like a half an hour or 40 minutes. And then, I did it, and everyone said I did a great job. And, as a 9-year-old kid and get that kind of praise, like, this is pretty cool. So yeah, I did that, and that was fun. And I think honestly, that's how I learned music really quick too, is because of that, having to learn, so many songs within a certain amount of time, and just kind of picking up where I need to be and what I need to do. And because everyone all the time's like, how did you learn that so fast? I just brought this to you like 15 minutes ago. I'm like, I know what to listen for and what to do. Like, I know my instrument well enough to where I know what I'm doing without having to play it. So, but yeah, so that's how all that started. 6 years old, and almost 40 years later, I'm still doing it. So.
I was gonna say this wasn't one of those scenarios where like this drummer is at the wrong gig sort of moment, was it?
No, but I do love that guy. That is so good.
I mean, you can tell he's having fun with it too, especially.
Oh
when
my
he's going
God,
crazy.
yeah. What is it? What's his last name? Moore, I think. I can't remember. Steve Moore, I think it is. Yeah, the guy in the suit, whatever. That he was one of the first ones we reached out to too, but he doesn't do podcasts, so because he would have been fun. Because I wanted to just ask, like, I know it's out of boredom because I've played gigs before. It's like, oh my God, I'm playing this song for the 1000th time. I don't want to do this anymore. And so yeah, I'll watch that. I've gotten so many people to watch that video too, so I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I think that was one of the first YouTube videos to like go viral. Also, this was way back like in its infancy, so I think that was like. So I remember watching it like 2007 or 8 or something like that. So yeah, but anyway. Yeah, love that guy too. He's good. I've done that. Yeah, I've done that every once in a while. I'll just start flailing my arms.
I think it's a little better when you're not doing it as a drum cover, because I feel like drum covers you're a bit more focused and you're trying to make sure you're matching sort of note for note what's going on right there too.
Yeah, so, for sure.
So I think if you know your song, then it's like, okay, I can at least know how to have a little fun with this here and there too. So
exactly. Yeah.
Our friend Jordan Kanata, the drummer for Slaughter, he's a very animated player also. It's so fun to watch him play.
I guess how'd you meet him? Was he just one of the guys you reached out to, or has he been a neighborhood friend of yours?
Well, so we saw Adrenaline Mob in Scottsdale, and then 3 days later, they had that tragic accident in Florida where David Z was killed and Jane Train was killed. Well, she survived for a few weeks, but after that show, well, okay, so we actually spent the whole day there. It was a little tiny bar, and we spent the whole day there. We got in really early, and the band let us stay in there while they did their rehearsal and everything.
Well,
we
and
hung
it's
out
a
with
bar
the manager.
anyway, so yeah, they are open technically. Yeah. It's a kind of a weird thing, but yeah.
And we had our meet and greet with them, and they were talking about, how do you survive in Arizona, because it was July
6th of 2017.
They were like, it's so hot, and we're like, actually, it's kind of cool right now.
It's only like 103 right now. This is mild. Like, get your sweaters.
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, the Adrenaline Mob was so good, but just where the venue was, I think, and it wasn't promoted very well. There was maybe 30 people at the show, but they played like there was 10,000 people there, and it was such a good show, and we had such a good time. And afterwards, we went back to our table, and there was a lady sitting there, and
because we had left our drinks.
Yeah, the first thing she says, "I didn't roofie your drinks, I promise," and winked at us, and we're like, "Okay, we like you." So we sat and talked to her for a couple hours, and we're like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Oh, I'm really good friends with David Z." And they had done an IFC TV show together.
Z-Rock.
Called Z-Rock. And it was David Z and his brother and Joey Casada. And she said that she had come out from Los Angeles to meet with them, to spend a couple days with them before they were headed to Florida. And so we sat and talked to her for a couple hours. David Z came over. We talked to him for quite a long time about Star Wars.
Well, and I told him too that we don't change time in Arizona. And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, they couldn't understand that we never changed time here. And then Justin went up to Jordan and said, "Hey, can I help you break down your drums?" He's like, "Oh my God, I'd love some help." So met Jordan that way. And then, like I said, 3 days later, they had that horrible accident, and we got in touch with the lady that we were talking with, Andrea Kaufman, and we became like really good friends with her. We kind of bonded over that. And from there, we got in touch with Jordan and said, "Hey, we were at that show. We talked to you, broke down your drums." He's like, "Oh, I remember you guys." And we said, "Oh, would you do our podcast?" Absolutely. So did the podcast, and he said, "Hey, anytime I'm in Arizona, hit me up and I'll make sure you have backstage passes." And they played the Tucson State Fair, and we got backstage passes. We hung out with him for quite a while.
I played his drums.
Yeah, Justin got to play his drums at sound check.
And he's a lefty, so that was fun.
Yeah.
So.
And then he had a failure during the concert. One of his cymbals.
His hi-hat broke.
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen. His hi-hat pedal broke from the piece that connects it. Yeah.
And the drum tech was off doing something else. So Justin ran out there on stage and helped him. And it was so cool because we got to see the concerts stage side. It was just an amazing experience.
Yeah. And then we
He's
had
such
him
a great
on.
guy.
Yeah. We had him on a few days after or whatever to talk about it and how much we enjoyed it. And he's like, yeah, man, anytime I'm there and you guys see, there's a date, just, send me a message. So, but yeah, it's cool because he is phenomenal player. Like, I mean, he took the place of AJ Pirro and Mike Portnoy in Adrenaline Mob. So those are big shoes to fill, and he did it flawlessly. So,
especially the shoes filling in with Mike Portnoy too.
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, he's the top of my list for a guest for sure. Is Mike Portnoy. So
we'll eventually get to that point. So
we will.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. We have some irons in the fire. So.
We got connections. So
yeah. We know people pretty close to him, so it's just getting it to happen. So
I actually did see him last year when he and Dream Theater came through in Pittsburgh right here. It was at the Benham Theater, and it was one of those you couldn't film it, but you could take pictures of it. So
yeah,
you know what? They played Panic Attack. I was like, I should just record just a little bit of that. So
yeah, we saw him twice last year.
Yeah.
Actually, we saw both legs, and they came out here. One in Phoenix, and then one in Mesa. Both phenomenal, and I love that's the thing I like about them is they will completely change their set list each time, and their songs are so good it doesn't matter.
Takes a lot of memorization too. So I mean, like
yeah, for sure, yeah. And I mean, there's I'd never seen anything from Black Clouds and Silver Linings, so it was fun to see something from that for the second leg. Actually, I think they played. I don't think they played one on the first leg. I think it was just second leg. Yeah. So it was good to see that because it was right before they had, Mike Portnoy left and everything. So.
All right. And Lauren, I guess, what were you doing before you met Justin here too? I guess, were you doing anything music wise or were you just kind of chilling in California?
Just a lover of music. I did play the trumpet for years in school band. I did, concert band, pep band, and marching band. Always wanted to be a drummer, but man, you get behind that kit and you could play. I got this. And he said, now put your foot into it. And I can't do it.
Yeah, the whole, I'm playing C. I'm like, what's wrong with your foot? Is it not working? And then as soon as the foot gets in there, it's like a toddler trying to walk.
Yeah.
But
it takes some time.
Better. Yeah, it does. You got better as we went. I think drums is something you want to learn as young as you can.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Because you just start thinking about it too much.
Mm-hmm. And if you go in as a child, you just do it and you don't think about it. But man, you put that foot into play and it is hard. But I think I could pick up a trumpet today and still play it.
Next thing you know, she'll be doing Star Spangled Banner before you know it. So. Actually, I was going to say, mine was actually more so for rock band, actually. So that was when I was in my early 20s when I started picking up drums and all that stuff. So that's one of those things where you could say video games were good for something.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Right.
So parents, don't disallow your children to play video games.
I guess, Lauren, were you going to say something in terms of still being able to play trumpet or something?
I was going to say that the last album Justin did was very horn heavy. It was a concept album based on the Spartacus Wars. And so it's like metal music and just a ton of horns in it because they did songs based off battles. And it was just so cool. There's bells in it. Mm-hmm. There's lots of horns in it. I didn't play horns. I played chains. Oh no! Our daughter played chains.
You did vocals on the first album.
I did vocals on the first one.
I guess we'll go jump into the band here a little bit. I guess Justin, what's our band are you a part of? And I guess if you want to elaborate some of the bands you've been a part of in the past, go ahead.
We did. I was in a cover band 30 years ago, probably called Quarter Till. We didn't do too much. And then I just kind of bounced around. Then I did a band called Ethos, and we had a little bit of play. We were on the radio once for a Battle of the Bands thing. That was cool. And then my band now is called Temporal Displacement, and we're like a prog metal band. We've done 2 albums already. I just remastered because we got a brand new recording program that has a lot more post-production effects that I can do without taking away what it originally sounded like. It just makes it sound better, more full, more studio quality. So I just finished remastering our first 2 albums, so I'm going to be putting those out soon. And we also changed our distributor on for the band, so I'm going to get those all up soon. But our original stuff is still up there under Temporal Displacement. I'm still very proud of it. I'm really proud of the new remasters that I just did, because it's night and day from what I was able to do, and just what I've learned as well, because I do a lot of the work post, besides playing the drums live and doing all that and then sending it off. But once everything comes back to me, I master it and get it all ready to go. And so it just takes a lot of time, and I'm very proud of how it came out. And she helps a lot too, because I'll just start playing it and say, okay, which one do you like better? What do you like? What are you hearing? And she's honest about it. So I'm like, you're going to listen to it as much as I will, or if not more. And so I want to know as someone listening to it, how does it sound? And she's always gives me good feedback of, okay, it got a little bit too loud there, it's clipping there or whatever. And by doing this podcasting too, she understands all that. And she also helps me record my drums, which is good. So, and it's good having that honest, voice saying, hey, let's do that again, because this was a little too loud there, whatever. And it's nice having that. But yeah, so Temporal Displacement. We don't play any shows. I'm in my 40s. I'm over that. I always tell the guys, and my guitarist is older than I am.
He's a retired
police officer. He doesn't want to gig. He's got his own stuff going on. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And my keyboardist is about 10 years younger than I am, I think, give or take. But he has no interest in it either, and which is good, because I've done it, been there, done that. You go play a venue on a Sunday night, they tell you you're going on at 8 or 8:30, and the next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock, and you're playing in front of 5 people that that were at rehearsal 3 days ago. We could have just stayed home and done this. This is getting us nowhere, and we had to pay to play. This is ridiculous. So, and
technology has improved so much that we have a home studio, and we just record everything here in the home.
Yeah.
I guess you guys also were familiar with the whole thrash scene that kind of came out of the California area, right?
Oh yeah.
So I guess, did you kind of look up to them as inspiration as well? Maybe not so much to incorporate it to music, but at least try to really play style.
Yeah, I was more. I'm not the biggest Lars fan.
But you're a big James Hetfield fan.
I love James Hetfield. I think James Hetfield's the best guitarist of all time. What he does is insane. And I would love to play drums for him. But I like more John Tempesta, Charlie Benanti, which they were New York, but who else am I forgetting? The guys from Testament were all great.
Gene Hoglan.
Oh man. Oh, actually, I was just gifted one of his signed sticks for my birthday a couple weeks ago. That's just over here with our stick collection. So, yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, I think I said John Tempesta. He's my big inspiration too. Stuff he did with Zombie. A lot of people don't even know that he was the drum tech for Charlie Benanti before he got the gig for White Zombie, which is really cool. So he learned a lot from him. But yeah, I love the early thrash stuff. Pantera is probably my favorite of the thrash bands. I know they came out a little later, although they were born the same time as Metallica. So as far as the band is concerned, they're out of 81 as well. So they just didn't get noticed as quick. But they are probably my biggest inspiration as far as like true like metal, thrash metal would definitely be Pantera or probably Megadeth or Testament. So, but yeah, they're a huge inspiration to me. But I mean, I grew up more of the prog. My dad was a big prog fan, big Beatles fan. I grew up listening to the Beatles all the time, and it really made me just appreciate Ringo as a player. I still think underrated, which it sucks to say that, that he's been doing it for 60 years, but I still think he's the most underrated drummer there is. The stuff he was doing back then was just incredible. I mean, the thrash scene wouldn't have happened without Ringo. Ringo was thrashing those cymbals, and the way he played was very thrashy with some of the songs. Even they're happy, I want to hold your hands and all that. It's like Ringo's just beating the hell out of those hi-hats on it. So
it's always funny when we talk about Ringo,
uh-huh.
because the first time I actually heard about him was when I was a kid, and he was Mr. Conductor in the Thomas the Tank Engine series for like the first 2 seasons, I think.
Okay.
For the UK versions, and then they brought in George Carlin to kind of help out with the first 2 seasons in the American version. So I always get a kick out of that whenever they're talking about Ringo's star.
Yeah.
Like, that's the guy I remember. He's Mr. Conductor. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's great for him to have that as well. But I still don't think, and I hear, I mean, a lot of drummers appreciate it. I think it's the people that don't know drums as much that go, oh, you just this and that. I'm like, no, it was more than this and that. A lot more than this and that. And I always tell people too, don't forget that the 3 Beatles scouted him to join the Beatles. It wasn't the other way around. He didn't ask to join the Beatles. They wanted him to join the Beatles. Pete Best was there, and they're like, we need someone a little more what we're looking to do that can do a little bit more. And they're like, hey, there's this guy playing, I don't even remember the name of the band, because Ringo's band at that time was bigger than the Beatles that he was in. And so they went and scouted Ringo and said, hey man, like, we'd like you to join us. Here's what we're doing. And he hesitated and didn't want to join right away. And who knows what would have happened had he not joined. But yeah, so it's kind of like the Kirk Hammett thing with Metallica, where, they really wanted Kirk to join them and everything. So,
and the Beatles were only together for 7 years.
7 years.
And they've sold over 650 million albums. Yeah.
It was part of the British invasion with them and the Stones and a couple other ones, I think.
Yeah.
The Yardbirds. The Who, that came a little bit later.
Yeah. Yardbirds. Yardbirds were right there, because that's when Jimmy Page was with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yardbirds, the Animals, the Trogs, if we want to go, Orbison, which wasn't, I guess, British
Not
though.
British invasion.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Was Dave Clark 5 American, or are they British?
I think they were British.
Okay. So they were right there too. Yeah.
And then the 80s came around. They got a little bit darker with Venom and all those guys. So.
Venom, yeah. For sure.
And ironically, that actually brought about black metal, and that's what their album was titled. And then Norway and all the rest of them started picking up on it too. So
yeah.
Thank God for the British. So yeah.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Music-wise, we should say. So
yeah. No, I agree. They're without the music they're bringing over, there wouldn't be a lot of what we're doing here. So, I mean, really, like I said, without the Beatles, their music wouldn't have done what it did in the 70s either. I mean, the Beatles were even doing progressive stuff. A Day in the Life was a very progressive rock song, where tempo and time changes and different, and they told a story through it and the conceptual thing. So there's no like Yes or Genesis or any of that really without that. So
probably comes a little bit later, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it helped exasperate it in a way. We should say that.
For sure. Yeah.
Right. But I guess, as you guys mentioned, you have your home studio, and I don't know how much gear you got in terms of what you do with this podcast, but what kind of gear do you guys have to make magic happen music-wise, and what do you use for the podcast?
Start with the podcast. We have the 2 Shure mics that we have here. On the other side of us, we can do in studio. We have a camera facing the other way when we have in studio guests. They are on Behringer mics there, and those usually we transport with us too, than these guys, because they're a little tougher, a little bulkier. But we will travel with these as well, depending on how many guests we're going to have.
But we will say that our Shure headphones, our Shure microphones, and our cables were gifted to us from Bill Hines, from our guest Bill Hines. He was just amazing. I made a reference that the headphones I was wearing weren't comfortable, and the next thing we know, we have this package arriving at our doorstep from Sweetwater, and it was Shure microphones, cables, headphones.
Yeah,
he's an amazing person.
Yeah, and we're like, we're gonna owe him a favor someday. He's gonna call us like Godfather. Remember that time? No, we joked with him about it too. But yeah, so we do that. We have
your gear over there.
Yeah, we have the Mackie mixer and just a headphone amplifier. So each person, like when we're in studio, can control how much volume they want in their headphones. I like that because I don't like it where it could be louder for someone else and it's quiet for me. So instead of going through the direct mixer, we have that outboard. And as far as the studio goes, we use Acid Pro 11 for the DAW. I have each drum is individually mic'd, and I have a video of my drum set. I can always send you if you want, just see if you wanted to post it. But I have a 10 or 12 piece drum set. I have an off snare that's to my left, and then my regular snare that's in front of me. I have my cymbal endorsement, which is through Soul Tone. I have my
Your
drumsticks, which is through Scorpion Percussion. They make amazing drumsticks. I have not broken a pair yet, and I play hard. They're awesome. I have DW drums. I have Mackie mixer in there as well.
You have your Vinnie Paul snare.
My Vinnie Paul signature snare. What else do I have?
Your piccolo snare.
My piccolo. That's right. I just got a new piccolo snare.
All your cowbells.
Cowbells. I just got a wood block, or not a wood. It's a plastic block, but it does the same thing. And then I got like this little percussion thing. I just got where
a little hand metal drum.
Yeah.
It just has amazing sound.
So that'll be on the next album. I'll find a way to put it in there. I don't ever get anything I won't use, but.
And then next chimes.
Next is I'm going to get some chimes. So yeah, but everything's mic'd, overheads, all that good stuff. So yeah, and that's right behind us in the other. So we have 2 studios in our house, which we only have a 4-bedroom house. So half the bedrooms is studios. And I wouldn't
you're a music lover. So
yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. So
and that's what was based on buying this house. Is if it had a room that could house his drums, because his drum set is so huge. And it's like, so we looked at it and we took measurements. We're like, okay, this is the house. We'll take it.
I was going to say, yeah, he did mention about Neopard earlier. So I mean, like he's trying to bring out the Neopard style in him too.
Yeah. It's not a 360 yet, but
no.
I'm not the biggest fan of electronic drums, so I don't need it to do that. I like it.
I was going to ask that. Do you use electronic drums for some recording?
Okay. I do not. No, I'm of the mindset if I can't make it sound the way I want it to sound, then I shouldn't play it. That's me personally. I'm not going to go against anyone that has electronic drums. And a lot of people have them because they live in an apartment and they can't do that stuff. I'm lucky I don't have that issue, and I totally get it. But I'm one of those that, like, in my opinion, like playing as long as I have, I can make 6 different sounds on just my snare drum. So I can do 6 different things just on that. I can make anything sound how I want it to sound. And if I can't, then I'll figure out a way to do it. So, and naturally.
I would say, unfortunately, I'm an electronic drummer, though I live in the same house with my parents. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I have no issue with it. I've always been around acoustic drums, even growing up as a kid. My parents were very cool to let me do that. My mom would complain every once in a while, and I honestly did not believe her when she said that if I play, the cake will fall. And I thought she was just doing that so I wouldn't play my drums, and she had an excuse. And Andrea over here told me, she's like, a cake will fall.
I'm a huge baker. And I was like, no, she's telling the truth.
Yeah, it will. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And I'm not mad at my mom anymore for that. Like, I just wanted to play. I want to come home and play my drums. And like, no, I'm baking a cake. It'll fall. Okay, Mom, whatever. Sure. So
now we're like, love you, Mom.
Yeah, so, love you, Mom. Yeah, she set me straight. I'm sorry. I apologize. My bad.
Lesson learned there too.
That's right.
So, but I did say one of the questions about hobbies, and I guess anything else you guys do outside, I guess, of podcasting and whatever your main jobs are. So I guess, what do you do in terms of hobbies?
Go ahead. Wrestling.
Oh yeah, we're huge into wrestling. we have these big parties for like WrestleMania, Elimination Chambers coming up, and we just did. What was
Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble. We do Hell in the Cell, and we'll theme it off of where they're at. So this next one is going to be in Chicago. So we're going to do a whole Chicago dog spread, And we have tons of people come over. We get rowdy, we get loud, and we just have a ton of fun.
I keep thinking of the South Park episode where they were making fun of WWE, and then your typical high school wrestling, which, they're like, Mr. Take your gay porn somewhere else, something like that. So,
Yeah, right, yeah.
So it's funny shit too.
Just absolutely love wrestling.
Yeah, we collect the wrestling cards. I collect all kinds of cards: baseball, football, hockey, all that good stuff. But we really started doing wrestling cards and wrestling anything right now because we have a great wrestling store in Phoenix, and we've had the owner on. He's Tony Vella. He's amazing. We got to meet Kurt Angle, Rikishi. Oh my gosh, who was just
the girl? I can't think of what her
oh my
name
god,
is, what her stage name, because she's up and coming.
Yeah, yeah, we got to meet a few people through him. He's having a few more this year. Unfortunately, the one that was in January, last minute, she got snowed in where she was at. She couldn't make it out, so he rescheduled it. It was right when that huge East Coast, which I'm sure you know of, hit. It was right like that weekend. But he's having a few people out. But he does these events because he's a big card collector as well. And he does these events every few months. And next Saturday, actually, he's doing the next one where it's all trading thing. People bring their cards in, they trade with each other. It's like the old school, like, we sit down with our friends and do it. It's a lot of fun. And the first time we went, I just had like a little box of wrestling cards, and we went in there, and I had some good stuff because a couple of people I was really into were really popular. So we traded some stuff, but I'm like, this is sad. We need to do something about it. Yeah. And so now we have 2 binders full of cards. Like she got really into it. Mm-hmm. Our daughter got really into it. So we're just getting cards all the time. We have 2 full binders of it. And then we have ours that for the right price, we'll sell it or trade it. And so we're going to be doing that next week. And that's a big hobby for us. It's just, going out and doing that and having fun and meeting people. We met a couple people through it. We had them on Sense too. And yeah, so a lot of fun. But that's our outside of work and doing this and the band, we do that a lot. We do a lot of wrestling stuff.
Is it more the WWE sort of wrestling, or is this like your kickboxing sort of cage fighting you guys see sometimes with Conor McGregor and those sorts of guys?
Oh yeah, we like UFC.
We'll do
also.
UFC. Just we tend to have a little better outcome or turnout with wrestling. Just WWE. For one, with me, the like UFC. I love UFC. Don't get me wrong. I think the problem they have is I don't want it to go to the judges. I want there to be an actual outcome,
a definitive outcome.
Someone won, someone lost. I think that's something, and I don't want anyone getting like seriously hurt because of it either. But I think a lot of times too, guys will just kind of get the points and then be like, okay, I think I've won this round, so I'm going to not lose it now. And I don't like that mentality. I think maybe we need to make the winning purse bigger to incentivize guys to win. But that's my biggest problem with it. But we have parties for UFC as well. It depends on the card if we do it. But in my opinion, the wrestling cards are just always so much better. In my opinion, they always have the big names. I know it's predetermined for the outcomes, but at least there is one. And I don't know who's winning. Only they do. And it's no different than watching an action film, except a lot more times in WWE, the bad guy does win. Mm-hmm. So that's the great thing about it too, because sometimes I'm rooting for the heel instead of the baby face, or the bad guy versus the good guy, because they're just more fun. So that's kind of the thing with it. But if UFC fixes the outcome problem, I think we'd watch it more. But it just depends on the card if we watch it.
If it's Conor McGregor, yeah, we'll watch.
Yeah, I love to see him get his head bashed in. So. I'm not a McGregor fan.
Hope they make it a rain after knocking the guy out. So.
Yeah, especially when he keeps ducking Michael Chandler and all that. It's like, just fight him. Like, What are you afraid of? Like, you were supposed to do it at the end of, what was it? It's like 5 years ago he's supposed to do it. So just get in there, man. Like, they signed contracts at the end of season. These are the 2 fighters, and he backed out of it. Like, so yeah, as soon as he did that, I was like, yeah, I don't like this guy. You just don't do that.
Yeah. Actually, there was a friend of mine. He's a young kid though too, but he does like little boxing as well. Mm-hmm. But he also showed me it's his bare knuckles sort of boxing.
Okay.
So the thing is, you're actually hitting with your fists.
Yeah.
So looks like it does a lot more damage.
Mhm.
So
It does damage to the person punching more too. So
yeah. So I'll tell you what, it doesn't look like it, but man, it looks like it should be scary as hell, to be honest. Especially
yeah, oh yeah, I would rather be hit by someone with gloves than someone bare knuckle for sure.
I was like, you guys were rooting for Drago in the Rocky movies. So, yeah.
No, I was rooting for Rocky in that one. Although, honestly, Dolph Lundgren's a true fighter though too. So, like real martial artist. He's good. Actually, a lot of people don't realize that he's very smart and he could kick your ass. Like he's trained in martial arts since he's a kid, I believe. So.
Anyway,
We just gave plot armor to the main character, so the main character doesn't lose.
Yeah. And studying at MIT, that's no small feat. So, but yeah.
Did you ever get into the trading cards, like what you see with Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic the Gathering?
Not that so much. I was more of a sports cards collector.
Although we do have a lot of garbage pail kid
Yes.
cards. We do like those.
We do have those. Yeah.
I guess one of those, is it like a specific name they give to somebody, or is that actually like a brand?
No, it's a whole like series that came out.
Yeah.
Like they have like weird names of like puking, like a kid puking. I don't remember what
Like
it's based.
Pukey Paul.
Yeah, something like that.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nosebleed Nick.
Yeah.
Things like that. They're goofy.
They're goofy cards. Yeah, they came back. They were really popular in the 80s and they came back a few years ago and gained popularity again. So we bought a box of them.
They're fun.
They're fun, but I'd rather collect like sports. I want to collect stuff too that like I don't like with our daughter, we can give them to her if she wants them and they'd be valuable, or stuff like that gains value over time. So like Tom Brady rookies and stuff like that'll never depreciate. Aaron Rodgers rookies. I have a lot of like football. I have a lot of hockey too that are very, very valuable. A lot of rookies and signed cards and all that. But that's more my speed. And I mean, I know that like those Pokemon and stuff can go for huge numbers and they're very popular. I just don't know. I don't know enough about it to get into it. Where I wouldn't get in trouble. Like I could, not knowing enough, get ripped off on something and go, I thought that was okay. Shoot, I didn't know that. Whereas with sports cards, like I know who's good, I know who I like and everything else. So.
Yeah. That was related to the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. And I did that more so during high school.
Nice.
And you know what? You watch the TV show and now you watch it again as an adult. It's like, oh, this is so cringy and also cheesy, but somehow I don't know why, but I still like it for some reason. So, was there like any cartoons or anything you remember watching way back in your day that you watch nowadays? Is like, man, why did I watch that? So,
no, not really. Because my favorite like cartoon was actually Batman the animated series, and I still think that holds up today. Like that was my I'm running home from school show. Like I had to be there to watch it. That was my show for sure, and I watched it like every year. I'm like, oh my God, this is still so good. So dark and so intriguing and the voices were phenomenal on it. And so, I didn't watch a lot of cartoons growing up. I watched more of like the nature shows. That was my thing. So I wasn't real big into cartoons as much as some of the other people. They're like, oh yeah, did you watch, this? And I'm like, no, but did you know that a cheetah can run 65 miles an hour?
Nerd.
Right. They're talking Flintstones stuff. Like, no, that's awesome. And jaguars, if they are a panther, they still have their spots. You need the right lighting to see them. And like, that was me as a kid. So
actually, I do remember the Batman animated series.
Yes.
I don't think I was like as invested into it as I should have been. But actually, the one I always thought was, how the hell did they get away with this as kids was Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
Ren and Stimpy was one of those ones you did not want to sit and eat your breakfast while you watched it. Like the time they were doing bodybuilding or something, and they were scooping fat out of Ren. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's the whole thing with
that.
Or it's more so with Ren having like his mental breakdowns every now and again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna fall down, and I'm gonna laugh. So, but I would say Ed, Edd n Eddy, and then I also got to Toonami, which showed like a bunch of more sort of Japanese anime sort of stuff. So that's where you saw Dragon Ball Z, those sorts of films. So it was good as a kid, even though I wasn't so totally invested into it as I probably should have been now. So, yeah. I guess speaking of which, I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but do you guys have a favorite movie or TV series you guys like these days?
Oh, TV series Cobra Kai for sure, all day.
Yeah.
We'll watch and rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it, and we're currently rewatching it.
Yeah. And then for a movie, mine's Tombstone, my favorite movie of all time.
Is that why you have the poster behind you there? Or is that Karate Kid?
That's Karate Kid
back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but we do have a huge framed Tombstone portrait in our living room. And then we have a whole we have a bar area that's like a little alcove, and we have all of our signed Michael Biehn stuff from Tombstone and
Joanna Pacula, Billy Zane.
Because they had a big Tombstone.
2023, they did a 30th anniversary where a lot of the actors came down here.
Yeah.
I actually have a signed original script that John Philbin signed from the movie. And we're talking the original where the original director got fired because he wanted to do that script, and it was gonna be like a 6-hour movie, which I would have loved to watch. Like, I want to see that director's cut. I would do it. But so he signed that and did one of his lines from the movie. And it was great. Everyone was really cool. Everyone sat and talked to everybody, and you could ask them questions, and it was a lot of fun. So that's another great thing about living out here too, is we get that stuff. Michael Biehn lives in Bisbee, which is like an hour south of Tombstone. Mm-hmm. He actually lives there full time. But yeah, that's my favorite. So
Point Break, my favorite. If it's on, we're watching it. And that's the thing. We had a script for Point Break also, and John Philbin told us, "Oh, if you would have brought that, I would have signed that too."
So next time he's out here, we'll do it. Because he was in both. Yeah, he's in both of our favorite movies. So, what about you? What do you have for a favorite movie?
You know, I've really fallen off, to be honest, in terms of like TV shows and even doing movies, that whole deal. So I get distracted doing my drums, doing podcasting, and I work my full-time job, which is in accounting, and I do a part-time job where I help out a local family joint. And more so these days because the manager there had to go in for surgery.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
I really haven't. I was actually trying to get through The Sopranos, try to get through that series. Because I never finished it. That's a sad thing about it. I never got the chance to finish it. I got to season 3 and then it stopped. And now it's happening again. I'm like, God damn it, why can't I get through season 3? So, I don't know.
It's good. Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. So
we also love Varsity Blues, and just before Christmas, James Vanderbeek was selling autographed jerseys, and they were custom ordered, and so he had to wait for the jerseys to come in before he can sign them, and just as they came in, he passed. So we'll still get the jersey, but it will not be autographed. Yeah. And that hit hard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it too. So may rest in peace.
Yeah, may rest in peace. Yeah, he was one of our favorites. So for sure. Yeah, it's a fun one.
So I guess, how about was COVID? I know we kind of go back into the dark ages here too, because I mentioned about everything that happened in 2019, and then 2020 came rolling in here too, and then they say hindsight's 2020 in this case. So I guess, how bad was COVID for you guys on a personal level, business wise, and I don't know what you were doing music wise at the time.
Business wise, for me, since I work at an animal shelter, we were considered essential, so nothing changed for us.
Yeah, for me, I worked at U-Haul, which was essential as well. So neither of us, we were just, nothing changed for us. The only thing that really changed for us is I mean, not much because that was during my like big major depression too. So we weren't going out anyway.
So yeah, so getting things delivered was perfect for him at the time because we didn't have to go outside.
Yeah, so it worked out for me. So yeah, not much really changed. Neither of us got it.
No, never got it.
Never got it. Actually, I don't remember getting sick much, but also we weren't going out and doing much, so we were always just homebodies anyway. Yeah, and nothing really changed for us because of where we worked. So we were just we got to get out to work, which was nice. A lot of people weren't even getting to do that.
Yeah, so our drives to work were a lot quicker.
Yeah,
and getting home was a lot quicker.
I do miss that.
Yeah, I do miss that
half
also.
the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because our roads were just literally ghost towns out here. And because he would go one direction, I went the opposite direction, and he worked in the city, but I work out in the middle of nowhere, so I ran into zero traffic. Like scary movie saying, it's like if something ever happens to me and I break down, I'm either like going to be stuck for quite a while, or it's going to be like horror movie and some weirdo is going to come up. You need some help? No.
The devil's rejects, if we want to say it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I drive by a few creepy abandoned places on my drive, and like I said, it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but it didn't affect us too much, so we were one of the few it didn't.
How about for you?
I would say I liked it because I worked from home for my job.
Nice.
It was a different company at the time, but it was still within the accounting work. So I worked from home. I'd say I prefer that, but obviously it sucked with people who did get affected and passed away from it.
For sure.
So we wouldn't want that. We don't wish that upon anybody, but can we go back to the work from home? That was so much fun.
We never did it, so we don't know.
Did it, yeah.
So are you guys close to that? I guess they call it the infamous Interstate 10. Is that what they say Arizona is? So so because it's all traffic, or people are always speeding on it, being jackasses and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I avoid the 10 as much as possible. Actually, I know other freeways we can take where we don't have to hit it. So I do that. I mean, most of the freeways out here are pretty people speed. And there's people from so many different places out here that, it's just the way they drove and the way this person drove. And that's the hardest part for me, is working around other people's ways that they drive from where they came from. It's very, you get people from Midwest a lot out here. We even get people from California to come out here, and they're used to, bumper to bumper traffic. So they tend to drive really slow, which aggravates me. It's like, it's 45, where you going 35 kind of a thing. Let's go.
And that's the thing with COVID. Snowbirds got stuck here, and then they decided, well, the summers aren't too bad as long as you have a pool and air conditioning. So our population really doubled since then, which means more traffic.
A lot more traffic. Yeah, they're making 3-lane highways now, 6-lane highways where we're at and stuff. Home. Yeah.
This is not Florida, people. We do not need 6 lanes of traffic here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We went on the 202. Was it the 202 the other day? And we're like, when did this become like an 8-lane freeway? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh God, we're turning into LA all over again.
Yeah. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. Really bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, since Phoenix is doing pretty well. So I guess it's also expanding there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. There's just so much to build out here, but
we're supposed to have a moratorium on building because of the water situation, but it doesn't seem like anyone actually followed that. Which, eventually places are going to run out of water if we don't have big rain seasons.
Yeah, I guess, are they trying to do anything that people are at least paying attention to? Or are they going to do like some other moratorium or something?
Well, luckily out here we have a good water supply because of the Salt River and all that, and we're really good about it. Mm-hmm. I think people appreciate that we are in a desert, and the biggest problem here is people bring their plants from where they came from, which doesn't help the economy or the not the economy, but the what am I looking for?
Especially for allergens.
Yeah.
I never had allergies until I moved here. And then you see trees. Basically, Arizona should be like yucca plants and cactus, or
Palo Verde
trees.
Yeah, stuff native.
And then
but they start bringing like all these big giant like eucalyptus trees and stuff like that. It's like, this isn't good for
it's not native to Arizona.
And it's kind of messes with everything. So that's the biggest problem that is here, is that, and those take a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
And people, like, a cactus needs like maybe a gallon of water a year, and it will survive. But
a eucalyptus tree will leach off anything it can get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of times it's used in farming. So, like, especially in California, you'll see farms that will have a grove of eucalyptus trees next to it, because those trees will leach water from anywhere, and then it will spread out to like the cotton fields. It's a little trick in farming. I used to farm.
She had some free time on her side back in the day. So, but on a serious note, it's good to see you, and everyone's been doing well out there too. So good to have you along here for the ride.
Yeah. No, we didn't lose anyone during that time that we knew. So
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But I guess still kind of stick on the whole topic of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I know as we kind of progress through this interview, I talk about some of the Sturgis-like events you guys have gone to. So I guess, how's the music scene been in and around your neck of the woods and other parts of Arizona that you've been to? Do you think it's been kind of rebounding since COVID?
Music's, I think, doing fine. It's more the ticket pricing that, and I get it. It's the albums don't, for certain bands, they don't sell albums anymore. Certain do. Like, I know, like, the music I listen to, and I know I have a lot of friends that, and everything else, they buy physical copies of things. They still have like their CD collections, like I do. I've had my CD collection since the 90s, and I've never gotten rid of one. And like albums, I have a few. It depends. Like, if it's something that's iconic and I really like the cover of it, I'll buy the album version because it's just a larger product of it. But as far as like the music scene out here, it's doing really good. We get big bands all the time. Like, so we saw Dream Theater twice this year. We get a lot of non-music things out here too. Like Carrie Elwes was just here last Friday doing a Princess Bride thing. That was a lot of fun that we went to. It's more or less the ticket pricing that's kind of bothering me. I just want to know who it goes to. If we're paying this much money, who's it going to?
Yeah, and then Phoenix has a cash ban, so you cannot use cash at any venue in Phoenix. And
we couldn't print out our tickets either.
Yeah,
there was no physical copy of the tickets, and I love that. Like, I want a copy of it because I'll keep it. I'll put it in like a photo album or something and keep a record of it. And it was on my phone, and then once the concert happened, it disappeared. I was like, that's not cool. Couldn't screenshot it or anything.
Yeah.
So
the first Dream Theater show we saw last year, it was in Phoenix, and we took a certain amount of cash for merchandising, and then we got in, and they said, we can't take your cash. There's a cash ban. Like, okay.
They could take cash for tips though.
Yeah.
That wasn't a problem. Yeah. I was like, oh, so there is an exception to it. Okay. Got it.
And then a Liquid Death water was $13. So,
yeah. Not cool.
Yeah. In a desert community, you're going to overcharge for water.
Yeah, so it wasn't fun. Then I'd found out too that the venue's owned by Live Nation, so I'm like, that makes a lot more sense now. So, yeah. And
then the second time we saw them in Mesa at a local community theater, and so it was a more intimate show, and it was just so amazing.
It was a much better. Well, I wouldn't say the show was, but I'd say the environment was better. We pay cash or card. Everything was a lot cheaper. Everyone was really, really nice. You didn't feel like they were herding cattle or something with it. Everyone's just walking freely and hanging out and talking. So that was fun. But yeah, my big thing's the prices. And I get it. Like, they need, for one, they're trying to get their money back from those 2 or 3 years they weren't touring. There were some bands we were going to go see on tour that we didn't get to. Because like Sons of Apollo was going to come back out, but luckily we saw them the first time. But yeah, other than the prices, I think we have a lot of people come through here, and if you pay attention, you can see big bands or big artists at smaller venues out here and actually get to meet them and stuff too, like we did with like Adrenaline Mob and stuff like that. We saw Jackal and Flagstaff at like a 100 or 200 capacity place,
because they did play at the Arizona Bike Week last year, and
last minute.
And then we found out like 3 days later they were going to play this tiny little club in Flagstaff. So we're like, well, we could go see them with 100,000 people at Bike Week, or we could go see them with like 150 people in Flagstaff, and we have a house up there. So we went to Flagstaff and watched them. We were front stage. When he destroyed the bar stool with his chainsaw, we got the bar stool. We got I got a drumstick. We got everything signed. It was just such a cool experience.
Yeah, and if we had seen them at Bike Week the week before, we wouldn't have gotten any of that.
Near them.
Yeah. So it's one of those, pay attention to the full tour, because they played Scottsdale Bike Week, and then they did a few other places like in, I think, Utah, California, this and that, and then came back to Flagstaff. And it was the last show on that little tour that they did. And if I had not looked at that last show, we would have gone to Bike Week instead. And then I'd be like, oh man, they played Flagstaff and missed it. So always pay attention to all the tour dates.
Yeah, and paying like $90 a ticket for Bike Week. Of course, you get to
do
everything at Bike Week, but $25 at this little club in Flagstaff.
Well, we paid the $65 because it was a meet and greet with the lead singer, and we got to do a shot with him and all that too. So yeah, that was fun. That was one of our best shows we've ever been to,
and it was on my birthday.
Yeah,
so it was even better.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I do have to ask about Jesse, because I forget what channel it was on. I don't know if it was True TV or something, but he used to be on a TV show, Full Throttle Saloon, and I'm curious, like, were they able to reopen that, or did they permanently close it? Because
I think that's permanently closed.
Yeah, I think he's doing something else in Sturgis, though.
Yeah,
but
he is making his own whiskey now. But I think the saloon is permanently closed.
Yeah,
I think the owner was Mike. I know he and Jesse always had some sort of clashing of personalities or something there. So
yeah.
Oh, a funny story. Our local rock station, KUPD, where I told you we got married under their tent, they got Maynard on the phone one day, or in the studio, and they got Jesse James Dupree on the phone and had them talk to each other, and you could just tell Maynard was not happy with it, because Jesse James Dupree's just this happy-go-lucky guy, biker, where Maynard James Keenan is more cerebral, and so he was not liking the conversation at all. It was a funny listen. You
can tell he's definitely an introvert in that case. So
yeah, for sure.
So I would like to at least talk about like why he started doing music. So I'm hoping he could at least give us that sort of answers. So
yeah,
all right. That is what it is. We'll see what happens.
For sure, for sure.
But you also see Maynard James Keenan like tackling fans on stage, but it's just coming to give him a hug and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
The man does not like to be touched. So.
No. Unless he's doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, then he's okay with it. But yeah.
Hey, everyone's got a hobby.
That's right.
But it's good to see the music scenes at least doing well out there too. So
yeah,
hopefully we get the prices down on the water and everything at some point. So So keep going.
We'll see. Yeah, for sure.
Actually, I do have to laugh because the first time I actually saw Liquid Death, I thought at first it was actually a beer. Because
I did too. Yeah.
Well, it was Corpse Pile, and it was Despise Icon. I'm trying to remember who the headliner was. Oh, Sagabad, that's who it was. It was a bunch of death metal groups. I'm more into the metal, that sort of stuff. And when I went down, because I was actually for water, I was pretty thirsty actually. And when I saw it first, I was like, wait, I don't want a beer. I want water. He just pointed it out. It's like, oh, it's water. Oh, okay. So got a couple hot dogs there too. So
nice. Yeah. No, it's good water, and I like that they have. You can either do the regular or the sparkling, which is cool. So
I say I also got a lot of concerts lined up in my neck of the woods here too. So I
Yeah.
guess who do you got? All right, I'll tell you mine, but you got to tell me yours afterwards.
Okay.
So first we got Rise Against. That's going to be the first one to kick off 2026. That's in March. I'm also going to go see Emperor. That's later in March. Orbit Culture. And the most interesting one I'm going to see is actually in May. That's going to be Deicide, Immolation, Behemoth, and Rotting Christ. So it's the Godless Four. That's what they're calling themselves, actually. So there's Suffocation with Cradle Filth, with a couple other groups coming through, which I never really heard about. So I'm curious what that one's going to be like. Let's see. I got to get tickets for Cryptopsy. So that one's coming in late May, but I think I can make it work. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to see August Burns Red. And you know what? I screwed up because on the same day they got Whitechapel with Slaughter to Prevail played at a different venue that day as well. So I missed out, but I have never seen August Burns Red, so it's like, okay. All right.
Have you ever heard of the French death metal band Gorod?
Gorod?
Uh-huh.
I've heard of them. I think I've listened to a couple of their songs, but I'm not like fully invested, but I have heard about them.
They are cool. They're very cool guys. We saw them at a tiny little club.
Same place we saw Adrenaline Mob.
Same place we saw Adrenaline Mob, and we had the lead singer on our podcast prior to the show,
like at the venue, which was really cool.
And then the first band went on, and then the lead singer for Gorod came out to the audience to where we were, and he said, "We lost our accommodations for the night. Is there any place that you know of where we could stay?" We're like, "Yeah, come home with us." So we had the French death metal band Gorod stay with us the next morning.
It was at our parents' house.
Yeah, because they have a basement room.
Yeah, they have a basement with like where they can host them all. Yeah, it was.
And so his parents were a little put off by it at first, and then they realized that they were older guys, that their music was really, really good, and they're like, "Yeah, go ahead, tell them they can stay here. We have room." And next morning cooked them breakfast, and we just had so much fun with them. So yeah, that was the day we brought home a death metal band from France.
Was our English pretty good? Because normally when you think of international, you think it's how good is your English? Because that's the thing you always worry about.
The lead singer is actually a tour guide in France.
He's a UNESCO tour guide.
Yeah, so he has to speak, and that's why we only had him on. But the other guys could get through it. They did fine. So.
They got through with their English. We used as much French as we knew, and it worked. It meshed.
Yeah, it was fun. And at the end of the day, my mom and dad, my parents, were actually talking to them more than we were that morning. We were cooking breakfast and trying to get words in, and my mom's like, "Oh my God, this is," she's having a blast. They're taking pictures, and they signed some stuff for us. We have a signed CD. They signed a drumstick for us.
Yeah.
And it was
lots
a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. And they eat a lot. And they were so excited because they're like, "This is our first American breakfast."
I'm saying you didn't give them like the Bob Evans sort of sausage, did you? So
we did make sausage for them. So for the 5 of them, we cooked 5 pounds of potatoes, 24 eggs, 24 biscuits, I think 30 sausages.
Yeah.
They ate everything. We didn't even eat breakfast. They ate everything.
You can tell the boys were hungry. So
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because the show that they played, there were 4 bands and tickets were only $13 each. So yeah, there was like no money to be made there. And so when they go out on tour in the States, they really rely on their fans for accommodations.
And now next time they come out, my dad was actually the one to say, like, if you guys come out again, you're staying here.
Yeah.
It's like, see, death metal people are awesome. They're the nicest people usually. They get all their aggression out on the stage and they're, whatever. Yeah. If they even had it to begin with, a lot of it, they're misunderstood for sure. Yeah. I think that's the most misunderstood genre there is the metal all as a whole. Because most of the time we're all just nerds. We watched Lord of the Rings together and shit. So
we like visualizing things. We don't actually want to carry those sorts of acts of violence out.
Exactly. So, yeah. Usually the least violent.
Yeah, because are they going to sacrifice anything while they're here? No, they're not going to sacrifice anything.
Well, and when my parents found out that the lead singer Julian is the UNESCO tour guide, they're going to Europe soon, and they're going to book him as a tour guide. So they were talking about all that. I'm like, see, now you got like someone that's going to give you the tour. Like when you go over there, you're going to know somebody now. And it was just really cool, just very, very cool experience. So hopefully many more to come with metal bands. So we always try to do that too, where, hey, if you need a place to stay, and now like if it's a big band, like if it's 3 people, they could probably crash at our house, but 5 or more, it's like, that gets a little tricky. Like I said, my parents have a huge basement and they can stay there. And we'll stay there too. That was the big thing. Like, you guys stay here and cook them breakfast, done, easy. So yeah, next time, like, hey, band's going to stay at their house. Like, okay, cool. Like, no problem anymore. Like we've earned the stripes. So,
but upcoming, we have Bike Week this year, and John Bonham's playing the Led Zeppelin, or Jason Bonham's playing the Led Zeppelin Experience. So
we're going to do that. We might go see Corner. I think that's this week. We'll probably talk to our buddy Matt. They do a ghost tour here.
And there's a huge death metal scene in Mesa.
Yeah, he's real big into that. So he's the one that introduced us to Go Rod. But he introduced us to a lot of bands, but he introduced us to Corner, and like, where have these guys been my whole life? They've been around for a long time too. So I've really gotten into them. So we're going to go see them next week, I believe, in Mesa. Other than that, we don't have much planned. It's tough for us to plan too, because we have full-time jobs, the podcast, and the band. So it's like we try to
weeknight concerts are like, no, unless it's huge, like Dream Theater.
Dream Theater was on Tuesdays both times. I'm like, I'm not missing this. This is Portnoy coming back. Both times I'm like, I'm not missing this. Yeah. Like I will not, I don't care. I if I get fired, I get fired. I at least saw Dream Theater with Mike Portnoy again. I don't care. So we don't have too much planned right now, but there's always stuff popping up. Like, okay, we're going to go do that. We're going to go see Galactic Empire, but unfortunately we're hosting an event, so we can't do that. Yeah. But they're here a lot. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. But they do a lot of like the Star Wars theme music is like metal and all that. So
I think I had heard one of the songs. I don't know if a friend of mine who actually dresses up as Darth Vader, I don't know if he actually did play a song. I'll have to check that again. So yeah, she has like these little red glowing sticks.
Okay, yeah.
But he's like a green screen in the back, so it looks like he's in like a Starship Destroyer or whatever it is. So
okay,
he goes above and beyond. He's a great guy, actually.
Yeah,
I wish I could get him on, but he wants to keep the anonymity to it, so there's no way to like change his voice. So it's unfortunate. So
yeah. So we're gonna go see them, but yeah, they're playing on a night. We just couldn't do it, but they come out here a lot too, so we'll catch them on one of them. But not much planned other than that. So we're actually working on our newest album right now too, so that's going to take up some time. And I'll definitely let you know when that's out too. But that's pretty much it. Just hopefully the Corner, we can do that, and the Jason Bonham Led Zeppelin Experience thing at Bike Week. So
it's just, they said John Bonham too. It's almost like, oh wait, he came back from the dead. So
and I mean, he does show up on the big screen during the thing, so he is kind of playing, because I think there's a couple songs they play together where John's like the on audio. The audio and the video is on the screen, and Jason's playing to it, stuff like that. So yeah, something we want to see for a while, and we're going to finally get to do it. So.
All right, sounds good. Keep us posted and make sure to share on the socials there too.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess speaking of which, in terms of socials, first off, which ones are you guys on, and what do you make of AI and social media these days?
We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter or X or whatever it is. Yeah. We're on there. I'm not on there too much. I try to post to it, but and as far as AI goes, I like it in certain aspects. Certain aspects I don't. I do not like that people are trying to make music with it. I don't like that at all. Just don't take the human element out of it. But I do like, there's certain times, like with our podcast logo, I went on a few weeks ago and put like, okay, turn this into like St. Patrick's Day or turn this into Valentine's Day and certain things. So like for each monthly event or holiday event, we can update our logo that stays the same, but it has that theme to it. So that's fun. I do like that because it's very quick doing it. But I'm also a big fan of artists doing things like our most recent album. We had one of our friends actually draw it for us, and we actually have the 1-of-1 print for it, or not the print, the like 1-of-1 that he painted it on, and then he digitized it from that. We have that in our band studio hanging up. And I like that aspect of it because I'm a big fan of helping local artists and stuff like that. Our tattoo guy did our podcast logo. I have no problem paying anyone to do that. So that's the good and the bad of the AI. I use AI when we do our wrestling events for like the invitations and stuff. Cause just, I'm not going to have someone do it every month for events and stuff like that. For one, I don't want to burden them. And two, it's just something that's very, very quick, and it's just a one night thing, and it's not gonna ever go further than this. So I'll use it for that. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. But just, I don't like it getting involved in human elements of things.
Of the actual creation of music.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to interview some people who use AI for a good portion of the music.
Yeah.
But actually, one had to back out, but the other one is going to be later tomorrow night.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see what that's going to be like there too.
Yeah. How do you feel about it with music and stuff?
Well, I use it mainly when it comes to like making those short clips, like what you see with the reels, the shorts on YouTube. That stuff's good. I will say that stuff is
But you've also created that already. It's just helping you out with the clip. So
yes, basically you already make the video.
Yeah.
And then you just put maybe a good portion. If you try to use the free version, you only get like 60 credits or 60 minutes, as they say.
Yeah.
So they can only do so much with it.
Yeah.
So it at least helps in that regard.
For sure.
But you are right. Don't take out the human elements. So
Yeah.
don't do anything with the art. You can maybe use it a little bit if you're just a solo guy. You don't want to have like a whole bunch of people. Because I know some people use Suno, which I don't know if that plays like the instrument, for instance. It does it that way. I don't know if that's how it works. So
I'm one of those too. Like I'll put my drums on something for free. Just send it to me and I'll do it. Let's not, like, I don't need to be paid for it. Just I'll put drums to it. I don't care. Like there's people out there who will just do it because they love doing it. Just give me the credit. That's all. You don't have to pay me. Nothing else. Just say, hey, drums by Justin Wood. Okay, cool. Works for me. I just don't, I don't like, because people are just going to start using it too much.
And then we lose an industry.
In an industry that's already struggling, with streaming and stuff like that. I love physical copies of things. I like seeing people doing certain things. So I don't want to go watch someone just hit a button on a laptop and it plays something for you. I'm not going to go pay to see that. I want to see, again, Dream Theater, 5 of the greatest musicians on earth playing and doing what they're doing live, and you're still thinking there's no way they're doing that, and they are. Like, that's what I love to see. So
yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But do you think we got a Skynet conspiracy going on now?
A what?
A Skynet conspiracy. We're thinking Terminator.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah,
I really do.
not.
But I mean, as long as, I think people just need to stand their ground. And I think that the real music lovers will keep that from happening. I think it's mostly going to affect the pop world, which I don't listen to anyway. So I think in the metal and hard rock and stuff like that we listen to, it's not going to affect it as much because they can do probably more than AI can. It might not happen as quick, but it'll be more creative still, because AI has its limits as far as creativity goes. And I think that's going to hurt it anyway. Whereas, the human element is always going to be more creative, because it's not, to me, it goes with the people that are like, can read music and took lessons and stuff, as the people that didn't take lessons. Like, I didn't take lessons. So I think I'm more outside of the box. I'm more creative with things. I hear things differently. Whereas someone that was taught a certain way or this and that, they can be a little more limited because they think of it this way. So I think AI has been taught how to do things, whereas the human element has not been taught to do things, and it's always going to have that more creative outlet. So I think we're still going to get better music, other than the pop world, which I don't really care about that anyway. So
we say the pop music for club. So yeah,
it's probably been AI'd, and I mean it's already auto-tuned. So why not AI it? So who it's pretty much the same thing. You're making it sound better than it's supposed to be.
Right.
So that's fine. Metal, hard rock, all that stuff I think is going to be fine, because eventually they have to go play live, and you're going to know then.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, we need more metalheads.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, they're out there. They're out there. People want to ignore it, and that's fine.
That's true.
Metal's always been underground, although I mean metal music has also had #1 albums many times too, that people like Skid Row and Pantera had #1 albums for weeks. It was beating Nirvana and all that other stuff. And so yeah, I mean we have our turns, but I think we like being underground, and I'm fine with that. So
I guess so. So I'll have to see what happens, but
yeah,
keep fingers crossed.
And who knows, maybe this will actually make the music we like and listen to more popular, because people are like, I don't want to go see that. These guys are actually playing instruments. I want to go see that instead. And then something blows up. So who knows? There's still plenty of young rock and metal bands out there that could blow up anytime.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Though we got to avoid doing the whole contract and all sorts of stuff there too.
Yeah.
When it comes to the venues and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
All right. But tread carefully, good soldiers.
Yes.
So I guess just real quick, of all the guests you had on your podcast, I guess who would you say has been the most interesting one you've had so far?
You.
Oh, you make me blush.
They've all been interesting. I'm always going to go like the wineries, the winemakers, just because like we were saying earlier, how long it takes just to get like your first bottle sold, at least 5 years. That's just insane to me, thinking of like that business model. Because, with the business model with any normal company, you want to make your profit as quick as possible. And that's there's not even a hurry up and wait. It's just like, we're going to have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
We can't rush anything.
It's so scary.
It's very scary.
Because we do have some friends that completely gave up their jobs to do winemaking. And then we have several that are still having full-time jobs because it takes so long to get a turnaround on the wine. But yeah, it's a scary thought if you don't have that backup money.
Yeah. So that's, and just the process of making it's crazy too. If you're doing single varietals, you got to make sure that that's a good varietal that season. Or if you need to do blends, how do you blend it? Stuff like that. That's more fascinating, but I think that's just because I'm learning something. Any of the musicians we've had on have all been great to talk to. We've had some in studio ones. Like I still can't believe we had Mike Gilbert from Flotsam and Jetsam in our studio. That was crazy. Mm-hmm. Just, stuff like that. But I mean, I'm one of those, I'm going to say they've all been interesting because they've all given us their time. And to me, the most valuable commodity we have is time. It's something you can't get back, and nor do I want to waste mine or someone else's. So, I mean, all of our guests have been fantastic, and we've learned something from each and every one of them.
And there's so many guests that we walked away becoming lifelong friends with, which has just been an extra bonus.
Yeah. So I'd say all of them, but the winemaking to me is just the most intriguing. It still baffles me every time we've had a winery on. It's like, my God, that's scary. Like, I don't know if I could do that, but, and we've helped a lot of them out too. Like there's times that they ask us to go pour for them at an event, and we like that they put that trust in us. So we really enjoy that, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one there too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's crazy.
Though the way he keeps making it sound like this isn't going to be the retirement plan, is it?
What's that?
Oh,
you got to open up your own.
We would love to have our own winery, but it's so scary.
We'd maybe co-op with someone, just walk into it and help out.
Now, if we hit the lottery, that's a whole other story. Yeah, we're definitely going to do it.
Yeah, we won't tell anyone, but there will be signs.
Yeah.
You'll know. We'll have acres of land with wine on it or grapes on it, and yeah, that would be fun. I would love to to retire doing that, but doing podcasts about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd love to have it like where it's being made behind us and like person making it comes in and talks when they're in between. That'd be fun to do an episode about too. Something more interactive where you can actually see it being done and the process and all that, which, you know, I want to eventually do maybe with one of our friends to do that, but it's a tough process because it's 16-hour days and stuff like that. And for like 2 weeks straight just to get everything. Cause once they grow, you have a certain amount of time to get them off the vines before they either get too tart or they're not tart enough or however it needs to be done. So.
And the grape picking season for wine here is also during rattlesnake season. Which we had a winemaker that had one of their workers was bitten by a rattlesnake during picking season and rushed to the hospital.
Scary stuff.
You also have to watch out for scorpions here. Although they're not deadly, but
black widows.
Yeah.
So in other words, yeah, you'd definitely see the more scary part to it.
Yeah. There's the javelinas or the collared peccaries, whatever.
They will go and destroy wine vineyards, wine crops. Yeah.
Powerful stuff. You have to be made of stone to feel silent by that.
For sure.
Like the Australia
of America. Yeah. Everything out here wants to kill you. Yeah. The heat will kill you on its own too. So
I saw a video where a guy just put a chicken wing outside. He just let it fry out there too.
Yeah. I've actually taken an egg and fried it on the asphalt out here. So
and we have cholla cactus, which has little balls on it, and
they're heat sensitive.
Yeah, and they activate with movement. So if you walk close enough to them, those balls will pop off the cactus and stick to your skin.
I was trying to remember because I thought there was something similar, but not like that sort of thing. But it's more like they would stick to your jeans, for instance, or to your pant legs.
Yeah, they'll actually jump off the branch and attach to you.
Yeah.
They're called the jumping cholla.
And they're not fun to pick out either.
No, because they have so many. You have to either get into like a warm bath and have it just pop out of you, or someone has to take like giant like tweezer and pull it right out because you can't just grab it with your hand or it'll stick to you and not come off. So yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, it's fun out here. Keeps you on your toes. It's like the what is it from Princess Bride? The whatever they walk into.
Oh yeah, that forest.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, good luck out there, everyone. So
yes.
And thank you to all the people who work in the vineyards as well there too.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
All right. So just an intro. We have questions here pretty good. So we got a couple fun questions real quick. So
okay. Yeah.
So we already did the movie and the TV show one already. So do you guys have a favorite food you guys would consider your favorites?
Nachos. That's always my go-to. Although we love Italian food. Justin's Italian, so we do a lot of Italian cooking. We cook every day. So we have our full-time jobs. We do the podcast. We do the band, but we make time we cook every day. So we love to cook.
Sushi.
That's the one thing we will not make because
it's not cost effective to make it.
It's expensive and very time consuming.
Yeah, that's the one we will go out to. But
we'll go to the 7-Eleven to get it. So
yeah, gas station.
Gas station sushi. Yeah, sushi for me, just because we don't do it that often. So I'd say that. Otherwise, yeah, we make pretty much everything else.
I seriously don't get the whole thing with the sushi because I say sushi is like number 2 on the list. I mean, I think Italian's always been like number 1 in some sort of capacity with the pizza and the pasta. Then sushi's like number 2, so I think we consider that more of the Asian sort of style. And then Hispanic is more like number 3. So
yeah, we have a lot of good Mexican food out here too. Although, I mean, yeah, Italian and Mexican's big out here because we get the guys that come out of the mob that move out here. Yes. The anonymous mobsters, which we have out here. We have Sam the Bull out here.
Sammy the Bull Gravano's out here.
Yep. So we get a lot of good Italian and then obviously a lot of good Mexican because, we're Southwest, 200 miles north of Mexico. So, yeah. We get that. And then sushi. Sushi's actually really good out here, surprisingly. But we're close to a lot of ocean. So, like, we're not.
Yeah, we're only like 3 hours away from the from the closest ocean in Mexico.
I'd say that's not the Pacific, or is it that? Or is it that little bit where Tijuana is? That's kind of sticks out.
It's called Rocky Point. I think it's right on the border of where the Pacific meets the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All great choices there too.
Yes.
I guess, what do you listen to in terms of music these days? Whether they're indie or whether they're mainstream sort of music.
I don't even know what's considered indie, because a lot of my stuff isn't as popular as other. I mean, I've always got like I put my shuffle list, my playlist on shuffle. Pantera. I have like movie scores on there, all kinds of stuff. It'll just pop on whatever. A lot of metal all the time. Dream Theater, Rush are probably the two that come on the most, but Queensryche, Beatles.
One of the, I guess, newer bands that we like, even though like we've been with them since their kind of inception. We love Nothing More.
Yeah.
We've seen several of their shows. We try to see them every time they come to Arizona.
We were at their very first show in California.
At the Roxy.
So yeah, they're good. We have them tattooed on us. So yeah.
You guys want to show off your ink real quick?
What's that?
You guys want to show off your ink real quick? I guess.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming it's all on the arms, but I don't know if you have it.
Yeah, we have our Nothing More logos.
We
did that as a family.
Yeah, mine's over here, so it's a bit tougher to get to. But
right there.
Right up there. So yeah, got that. Got my Cowboys from Hell, Pantera. I got my Rush one here. It's a little easier to get to. My Say When from Tombstone is right there. A little tough where our camera is, but yeah, we got that. And then we're getting some stuff touched up actually on Tuesday.
Yeah, because we have Cobra Kai tattoos and Karate Kid tattoos.
Miyagi-Do.
Yeah, Miyagi-Do.
So we're getting the Miyagi-Do ones touched up, which my Miyagi-Do is right there. So I'm getting the tree brown, and then she has hers. So yeah, we're always getting that stuff done. But I mean, if we like a band enough, we'll do that, or obviously like a lot of movies and stuff. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And is this the same guy you've been kind of going to for all your tattoos, or have you gone to different parlors?
I've had a few other ones. We're in California. We didn't know our guy out here yet, so I got a couple done there.
But since then, Paul Voorhees, he's our go-to guy.
Yeah, he lives 5 minutes from here. He does it out of his house, which is really cool because we had a lot of experiences going to shops where the tattoo artist that was working on us was the only one in the building, so they'd have to stop to go help the front counter and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore, because sometimes they're doing something for like 20 minutes. It's like, well, this is starting to heal already, so this is really going to hurt when he comes back to it now, which is fine, but it also makes it to where it's tough to work on. So we found the guy that works out of his house. He's a good dude. He's the one that, like I said, he did our band logo, our podcast logo. He does all that stuff, and he's got a cool last name, Voorhees. So very, very horror themed, which is awesome. He's just
God, he's Jason's brother or something. So
right, yeah. So he's a good dude. He's one of those that will just reach out. Hey man, we're looking to do this and that, and within like an hour, he has everything ready to go. And what time or when do you guys want to do it? That kind of a thing. So it's nice to have that. And he does great work. He has great prices. One of our friends is actually going to go to him next Thursday, get some stuff done. So we're always getting in business, and we love to do that. So yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Voorhees.
Mr. Voorhees, that's right. Yeah, he's awesome. If anyone listening's out in Arizona, just look him up. Paul Voorhees, or Voorhees Arts is the exact name. So
I'm guessing he gets hit with the Jason Voorhees quote a good bit, doesn't he?
He has a lot of Friday the 13th stuff
in his studio.
And
he does Friday the 13th specials all the time.
So this whole weekend he's doing a lot of stuff for people wanting to get that done, which is cool.
So it was good business yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And today I think too. So
all right. Keep going strong there, Mr. Voorhees. Okay. All right. And actually, I forgot to ask this one. What would you consider like your favorite alcoholic drink? And what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Go ahead. Why don't you go first?
Oh, there's so many vineyards here that we support and love. Alcoholic for me, it's going to be Chateau Tumbleweed white wine called the Descendants. That's my go-to. I love it.
Mine, probably the 4.8.
Yeah,
4.8 red,
yeah.
which is Maynard's co-op wine. So,
then non-alcoholic cold brew.
yeah, cold brew or prime energy drinks for us. So something caffeinated for sure. And then water. We got to hydrate, unfortunately, which sucks. But I try to hydrate with something that's tasty. So yeah,
we try to drink at least 100 ounces of water a day out here.
It feels like it's more whenever you do drink water, especially if you get those big glasses.
yeah. We have the big giant, like gallon size, tumbler thing. So yeah.
It's also funny when I think of snow. It's like water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. So,
yeah, exactly.
So nice little shout out there too to Ryan the Ancient Mariner from Iron Maiden.
Yes. Yep.
All right. But Jason and Andrea, we are down to one more question on my podcast, actually. But before we jump into it, would you like to ask me one question apiece real quick?
What is your go-to song?
Ooh, that's tough. Because normally when I'm doing my drum covers, I like to listen to the bands I'm actually going to be covering a little bit here too. Mm-hmm. So I've hit kind of a little bit of the New York death metal. So one of it's called Immolation. So I've been listening to their recent albums was like Close to a World Below and also Here and After. Then there's also Suffocation, which I'm actually looking to cover their Effigy of the Forgotten album sometime next year. So I kind of been looking into that, but it's kind of more so all the death metal, the old school death metal, I should mention there too. So late 80s, going into the 90s there, kind of rolling into the 2000s. So really not one particular song. So I'll have to say it's all those bands, really.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. It's a little bit of a loaded question, so it'd be a tough one for me to answer for sure. So
I mean, I guess you would have to hold a gun against my head and just pick one right there too. In which case, I will say Answer the Sky, Between the Buried and Me.
Okay, so there you go.
Right.
Nice.
And what's the one thing you do every day that makes you the happiest?
That's kind of tough because there's always that repetitive schedule where you get up, go to work, and then you come home. Mm-hmm. It would be nice to always get back into drumming. That's something I think I wanted to make for my resolution this year, especially if it's just practicing or just, messing around and just kind of practicing to get ready for your next set of drum covers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I say drumming.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer. Mm-hmm. I would second that. So
it's cathartic.
It is. Gets a lot of stuff out. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
All right. In that case, we'll jump into the last question here too.
Okay.
So I always like to ask this question, but I used to be formed in around COVID, but since we're pretty much 6 years later onto it too, I kind of form it around like this. So here's how I word it. So given the magnetic activity that you happen to see going around in the world these days, what you see like in the media and even like the whole hoopla going around this part of the world, that part of the world here too. These days, I think people need some sort of hope. So what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so they can move forward with their lives?
I would say surround yourself with good people you like, people you're always learning from and that help you out. And just do stuff with them. Just do stuff that distracts you. Don't play on your phones. Host an event where everyone puts their phones in a basket or something and everyone just talks. That's what happened at the Royal Rumble thing. No one was on their phones at all. Everyone just talking, hanging out. People had never met each other, having full conversations with each other. I'd say do stuff like that. Just put the distractions away and have your own distraction.
Yeah. I agree.
Treat it like it's the 80s
For
or
sure.
any time before cell phones. Just talk, hang out. Even if you oppose, have a good conversation about it. I mean, I grew up in the era of you could have a conversation that had opposing views on something and you got along and nothing changed. You just voiced your opinion, they voiced theirs. And I think we need to get back to that. So
And always read a good book. Still big on books.
Yeah.
Short, sweet, to the point, and spoke like a bunch of true prodigies. So, actually, I know you mentioned you weren't able to screenshot your tickets, so that's why I take videos of the concerts I gone to.
Mhm.
Yeah, my light went up. Oh. Sorry, the thing's been
good.
acting weird. It keeps going like that. But that's why I take videos whenever I go to my concerts, just to have that piece of memory there too. So I recommend doing that whenever you go to shows. So.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, I videotaped the first song that they did. So, but yeah, still disappointing. I couldn't screenshot it and just send it to an email or something. I'm still upset. But the second one we got to get physical copies of, so that's fine.
All right, sounds good. And good luck to any shows you go to this year.
Yes,
too.
yeah. Same to you, man. Yeah.
Right. But Justin and Andrea, we have reached the end of my podcast right here. We talked a little under 2 hours, but
Yes.
I guess before we close out, you got any shout outs you want to give?
We always shout out our buddy, like I said, Paul Voorhees that does the tattooing and all that, and our friends Matt and Chloe that do the Goldfield Ghost Tours out here. If you're ever out in Arizona, reach out to us. We can put you in the right direction. They do a great ghost tour. You go into one of the oldest ghost towns in Arizona, right at the base of the Superstition Mountains, and we go into the mine. They shut the lights off. There's where rocks have been thrown. All kinds of weird stuff's happened, and it's a lot of fun. That's one of our favorite things to do. And they're just good people. They love metal. They've turned us onto a bunch of bands. The other thing I would shout out is just check us out, Temporal Displacement for the band and Drumming Up Conversation for the podcast. If anyone ever wants to come on and talk music or anything you're doing, if you're creative, anything, let us know. And the last thing I got is try some Arizona wine. It's amazing.
Yes.
So good. So
Courtesy of many, but mainly Mayor James Keenard. So
yeah. His stuff's good. He's the reason for a lot of the wineries out here. He helped a lot of people. So he's helped fund things and let him use his stuff for free and all that. So he's done really good things. So did you have anything?
No, same thing as you.
Okay, cool.
All right. So thank you so much, Mayor James Keenard. Good man.
Yes.
But just real quick for the audience sake, can you just list what social media and I guess any streaming platforms your music's on so they can check you out and interact?
Yeah, the music's everywhere. It's on YouTube. You just search Temporal Displacement. I don't know what pictures on.
Apple.
Yeah, Spotify. Spotify's the one I go to the most. I like that they're doing the lossless now, which everything sounds a lot better if you put that on there. And that's one of those nerdy recording things, that I know, but we're everywhere. That streams a lot better. As far as the podcast, we're mostly on YouTube and Spotify and Apple that I know of. We are going to be switching to a different distributor that's going to help us out more and promote it more. So I think we're going to be on a lot more platforms. So in the next week or two, we should be on a lot more, and that's Drumming Up Conversation. We're on all the socials. We post mostly to Facebook and Instagram. To me, Facebook's still the easiest as far as I'm concerned, because like with Instagram, you can't just paste your links to it. You have to do a story instead because people can't click it on Instagram. So I like the Facebook where you can just click right to it. But we always post our link tree on there, which takes you to our YouTube, all of our socials and all that too. So we always post as much as we can, but I say follow us mostly on Facebook and Instagram. We are on TikTok. That's more of the band thing because have kind of a label with one of the Think Loud Studios, which is Bill Hines' group that he does. And he has a lot of content creators and all that's on it. So we're on that a lot, doing live
Chad
stuff.
Gracie's our manager.
Chad Gracie's our manager, who's the drummer for Live, which is really cool. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, so we're pretty much everywhere. But best thing to do is reach out to us on either Instagram or Facebook. That's usually what we're on the most and respond to the most. And yeah, any guests, anyone that wants to come on, we're always looking for people to come on. It saves us from having to research or reach out if someone reaches out to us, which has been fun. We've had that happen. So yeah, absolutely.
Same here too. But we have to close out like this real quick.
Yes.
So, everyone, my guests today were Justin and Andrea from the lovely state of Arizona. They're part of their own little podcast called Drum Me Up Conversation. And you can also check out Justin as a drummer on Temporal Displacement. Get him all socials, all streaming platforms. Let's go forward our brother and sister out there too. So Justin and Andrea, thank you again so much again for coming on here. So y'all do stay safe. Rock on. And the last thing, I just did a quick pose. Stay tuned, y'all.